Hi guys, how are you? I hope you're okay. I hope that everybody did their tests. Sorry, my chair is uncomfortable. I hope that everybody did their tests. If I didn't, and if they didn't do the last one either, I have a beautiful album to make about chapter 1 to 15 for the people that didn't do the tests to recover those 20 points. So, I'll let you know. Remember that we are 2 weeks away from the end of the quarter, so you better hurry up. So the last time I told you to read 16. 16 was pretty interesting. It ended in something very interesting because I thought that Beatrice would be leaving the faction, but then something horrendous happened that let her and Al stay. So I hope you read, because tomorrow I'll give you a video of questions, 15 questions you will have to make. 15, I mean, 15 was the one that I counted the last, probably more, probably less. So we read 16, so I hope that you finish reading because I'll give you questions tomorrow. We're gonna start with 17 today. Okay. Ready? Remember, I start reading with you and then you finish. But if you don't finish, then you won't know where the answers for the questions are. The key in this is if you read, when you have to find the answer for something, you just have to scan because you already know where the information is. Okay, chapter 17. It's noon. It's lunchtime. I sit in a hallway I don't recognize. I walk here because I needed to get away from the dormitory. Maybe if I bring my bed in here, I will never have to go to the dormitory again. It may be my imagination, but it still smells like blood in there. Even though I scrubbed the floor until my hands were sore and someone put bleach on it this morning. I pinched the bridge of my nose, scrubbing the floor when no one else wanted to, was something that my mother would have done. If I can't be with her, the least I can do is act like her sometimes. I hear people approaching, their footsteps echoing in the stone floor, and I look at my shoes. I switched from gray sneakers to black sneakers a week ago, but the gray shoes are buried in one of my drawers. I can't bear to throw them away, even though I know it's foolish to be attached to sneakers. Like they can bring me home. Trish? I look up. Uriah stops in front of me. He waves along the dauntless born initiates he walks with. They exchange looks, but keep moving. You okay? He says. I had a difficult night. Yeah, I heard about that guy Edward. Uriah looks down the hallway. The dauntless born initiates disappear around the corner. Then he grins a little. Want to get out of here? What? I ask. Where are you going? To a little initiation ritual, he says. Come on, we have to hurry. I briefly consider my options. I can sit here or I can leave the Dauntless compound. I push myself to my feet and jog next to Uriah to catch up to the Dauntless born initiates. The only initiates that they usually let come are ones with older siblings in Dauntless, he says. But they might not even notice, just act like you belong. What exactly are we doing? Something dangerous, he says. A look I can only describe as dauntless mania entered his eyes, but rather than recoil from it, as might as have few weeks ago, I catch it, like it's contagious. Excitement replaces the leaden feeling inside me. We slow when we reach the dauntless born initiates. What's the Steve doing here? Asks a boy with a metal ring between his nostrils. She just saw that guy stabbed in the eye, Gabe, says Uriah. Give her a break, okay? Gabe shrugs and turns away. No one else says anything, though a few of them give me side-on glances. Like they're seizing me up. The dauntless born initiates are like a pack of dogs. If I act the wrong way, they won't let me run with them, but for now, I am safe. We took another corner and a group of members stands at the end of the next hallway. There are too many of them to be all related to a dauntless born initiate, but I see some similarities among the faces. Let's go, one of the members says. He turns and plunges through a dark doorway. The other members follow him and we follow them. I stay close behind Uriah as I pass into darkness and my toe hits a step. I catch myself before falling forward and start to climb. Back staircase, Uriah says, almost mumbling, usually locked. I nod, so he can see me, and climb until all the steps are gone. By then, a door at the top of the staircase is open, letting in daylight. We emerge from the ground a few hundred yards from the glass building above the pit, close to the train tracks. I feel like I have done this 1,000 times before. I hear the train horn. I feel the vibrations in the ground. I see the light attack to the head car. I crack my knuckles and bounce once in my toes. We jog in a single pack next to the car, and in waves, members and initiates alike pile into the car. Yuria gets in before me and people press behind me. I can make any mistakes. I throw myself sideways, grabbing the handle on the side of the car and hoist myself into the car. Yuria grabs my arm to steady me. The train picks up its speed. Yuria and I sit against one of the walls. I shout over the wind, "Where are we going?" Yuria shrugs. "Seki never told me." "Seki?" "My older brother," he says. He points across the room at a boy sitting in the doorway with his legs dangling out of the car. He is slight in shorts and looks nothing like Yuria apart from his coloring. "You don't get to know that ruins the surprise." The girl on my left shouts. She extends her hand. "I'm Shauna." I shake her hand, but I don't grip hard enough, and I let too quickly. I doubt I will ever improve my shanhake. It feels so natural to grasp hands with strangers. You should remember that she wasn't used to touch people. Her faction didn't let her touch people, so she's not used to handshakes. I start to say, "I know who you are," she says. "You're the Steve Ford told me about you." I pray the heat on my cheeks is not visible. "Oh, what did he say?" She smirks at me. "He said you were a Steve. What do you ask?" "If my instructor is talking about me," I say as firmly as I can, "I want to know what he's saying. I hope I tell a convincing lie." "He isn't coming, is he?" "No, he never comes to this," she says. "It's probably lost its appeal. Not much scares him, you know." He isn't coming. Something in me deflates, like an untied balloon. I ignored it and nod. I do know that Ford is not a coward, but also know that at least one thing does scare him: heights. Whatever we're doing, it must involve being high up for him to avoid. She must know that if she speaks of him with such reverence in her voice. "Do you know him well?" I ask. I am too curious. "I always have been." "Everyone knows Ford," she says. "We were initiates together. I was bad at fighting, so he taught me every night after everyone was asleep." She scratches the back of her neck, expression suddenly serious. "Nice of him." She gets up and stands behind the member sitting in the doorway. In a second, her serious expression is gone, but I still feel rattled by what she said, half confused by the idea of Ford being nice and half wanting to punch her for no apparent reason. She was jealous. "Here we go," shouts Shauna. The train doesn't slow down, but she throws herself out of the car. The other members follow her, a stream of black-clothed and pierced people not much older than I am. I stand in the doorway next to Yuria. The train is going much faster than it has every other time. I've jumped, but I can lose my nerve now, in front of all these members. So I jump, hitting the ground hard and stumbling forward a few steps before I regain my balance. Yuri and I jog to catch up the members along with the other initiates, who barely look in my direction. I would be hurt. I would be broken all the time if I had to jump off a train. I look around as I walk. The hove is behind us, black against the clouds, but the buildings around me are dark and silent. That means we must be north of the bridge, where the city is abandoned. We turn corner and spread as we walk down Michigan Avenue south of the bridge. Michigan Avenue is a busy street crawling with people, but here it is bare. As soon as I lift my eyes to scan the buildings, I know where are we going. The empty Hancock building, a black pillar with criss-cross girders, the tallest building north of the bridge. What are we gonna do to? What are we going to do? Climb it? As we get closer, the member starts to run, and Yura and I sprint to catch them. Jostling one another with the elbows, they push through the set of doors at the building's base. The glass in one of them is broken, so it's just a frame. I step through it instead of opening it and follow the members through an eerie dark entryway, crunching broken glass beneath my feet. I expect us to go upstairs, but we stop at the elevator bank. Do the elevators work? I ask Yuria, as quietly as I can. Sure they do, says Siki, rolling his eyes. You think I'm stupid enough not to come here early and turn on the emergency generator? Yeah, says Yuria. I kinda do. Siki glares at his brother, then puts him in a headlock and rubs his knuckles into Yuria's skull. Seki might be smaller than Yuria, but he must be stronger or at least faster. Yuria smack him in the side and he lets go. I grin at the sight of Yuria's disheveled hair and the elevator doors open. We stomp on my toes on the way and it doesn't... Oh, wait. I grin at the sight of Uria's disheveled hair at the elevator doors open. We pile in, members in one and initiates in the other. A girl with shaved head stomps in my toes on the way in and doesn't apologize. I grab my foot wincing and consider kicking her in the shins. Uriah states as his reflection in the elevator doors and pats his hair down. What floor? The girl with the shaved head says. 100, I say. How would you know that? Lynn, come on, says Yuria, be nice. We're in a 100-story abandoned building with some dauntless, I retort. Why don't you know that? She doesn't respond. She just jams her thumb into the right button. The elevator stumps upward so fast my stomach sinks and my ears pop. I grab a railing at the side of the elevator, watching the numbers climb. We pass 20 and 30, and Yuria's hair is finally smooth. 50, 60, and my toes are done throbbing. 98, 99, and the elevator comes to a stop. At 100, I'm glad we didn't take the stairs. I wonder how we will get to the roof from. Yuria voice trails off. Okay. So I'm going to read till here. You are going to read the rest of the chapter by yourself. And remember that tomorrow I'll give you some questions to do. Guys, we're almost over. A lot of people owe me homeworks. My job is not tell your parents what homeworks you owe. That's your job. So if you have questions in the platform, and it's been great, guys. Bye.